Okay, so now let's look at the planned expenditure. So we know planned expenditure is made up of fixed expenditure, irregular expenditure, and your discretionary expenditure. So what we do is we take the information that we're given in the question and we just fill in the budget. So it tells us the Gallaghers pay $820 each month for their mortgage. This is expected to decrease by $30 per month from June. So in June, their mortgage is going to decrease by €30. So our months we've got April, May, June. So in April, the mortgage is going to be $820. In May, it's going to be $820. And in June then, it's going to reduce by 30. So in your calculators, put 820 minus 30. So you'll get 790 for June. And then you're going to add up the 3 months to get your total. So 820 plus 820 plus 790. And that's going to give you 2,430. Your next item then is house insurance. So their house insurance premium is $420 per year, payable monthly from the 1st of April. So we need to go to the box for the 1st of April, which is here. Now it's telling us that the total for the year is $420, but they paid monthly. So in your calculators, you're going to put 420 and you're going to divide it by 12 because there's 12 months in the year. So per month, they're going to pay €35. So April, €35, May, €35, and June, €35. And your total then is 35 plus 35 plus 35. And that's going to give you 105. So the next one then is car insurance. So Alice Gallagher will pay $500 for car insurance in May. So you go to the box for May. So May, car insurance then is going to be $500. And then that's going to go straight out in the total column. And that's all we have for fixed. So we add them up. So we're going to add up 820 plus 35. So 855. Then you're going to add up 820 plus 35 plus 500. That's going to give you 1,355. Then you're going to add up 790 plus 35. Gives you 825. And you're going to add up 2,430 plus 105 plus 500. And that's your subtotal then for your fixed. Your next section we have then is irregular. So we're starting with household costs. So household costs are expected to be $1,400 per month, except in April when they'll be 10% lower. So let's have a look. So we're starting off in April, they're going to be 10% lower. So that's going to be 90%. So there's different ways you can do that. You can put into your calculator 1,400, multiply that by 0.9. That's going to give you your answer of 1,260. Or you can put in 1,400, multiply that by 10%. So that's going to give you 140. And then you take the 140 away from the 1,400. So 1,400 minus 140. So there's different ways depending on how you calculate your percentages. So you get the same amount. So hotel or household cost 1,260 per month. And then you're going to get your total then by adding the three of them up. Okay, I've actually read that incorrect. So household costs are 1,400 per month except in April. So April is the lowest and the other months are 1,400. So by reading the question and how it's phrasing the question is really, really important. So it just told us in that question that just in April was just 10% lower. So household costs are estimated 1,400 per month. So May and June are 1,400 and April will be 10% lower. So 1,260 is going to be the lower amount. The next one, car running costs. So Alice car running costs are expected to be 120 per month. So each month you're going to put in 120. Then you're going to add them up. So you get 360. Public transport then. Public transport costs for other members of the Gallagher household are expected to be 80 per month. So it's 80, 80, and 80. So you're going to add them up, 80 plus 80 plus 80. So it gives you 240. The bill for light and heat are expected to be, so 150 in April, 110 in June, and oil is 230 in May. So they're doing them a little bit different. So 150 plus 230 plus 110. That gives us 490. Telephone bills, 80 per month. That's going to be 240. And then school then will be 60 per month. So it's going to be 180. So 360s are 180. So next thing to do then is get the total then going down. So the total for June, April, and May. So you're going to add these up. So 1,260 plus 120 plus 80 plus 150 plus 80 plus 60. Because it's 1,750. So 1,400 plus 120 plus 80 plus 230 plus 80 plus 60. Because it's 1,970. And then 1,400 plus 120 plus 80 plus 110 plus 80 plus 60. Because it's 1,850. And then you get the total then, 4,060 plus 360 plus 240 plus 490 plus 240 plus 180 gives us 5,570. So just be careful with that one that I read incorrectly. So what's the household cost? So be careful with that, the way the question is phrased. So it says that the household, where's it gone? So the household costs are estimated to be 1,400 per month. So each month 1,400, except in April there'll be less, 10% lower. So 1,400 for May, 1,400 for June, and then we found our 10% of 1,400 and took it away to see what our costs are going to be, or you can multiply by 90%. And the last part then is the discretionary. So Gallagher plans to spend €70 on presents in June. So just in June, we're going to have 70. Entertainment will cost 300 each month, except in April when it will cost 200 extra. So each month, we're going to have 300 for entertainment. But in April, it's going to be an extra 200. So it's going to be 300 plus 200. It's going to give us 500. So remember to put your totals in as well. So that gives 1,100. And then redecoration then. The redecoration will cost us 900 in May and a further 700 in June. So 900 in May and then 700 in June. Then we're going to add these up. 900 plus 700. So we're going to get our total. So the total then for April is 500. From May is 300 plus 900 gives us 1,200. For June, 70 plus 300 plus 70 or 700 gives us 1,070. And then your total 70 plus 1,100 plus 1,600. That gives you 2,770. So your total expenditure is where we take the subtotals for our fixed, irregular, and our discretionary, and we add them up. So the total expenditure is going to be subtotal for fixed for April is 855. We're going to add on the subtotal for a regular of 1,770, and then we're going to add on the discretionary subtotal of 500. So you're taking your subtotals for each section and you're adding them up. So 855, 1,750, and 500. That's their total expenditure then for April of 3,105. So for May, 1,355 plus 1,970 plus the discretionary, which is 1,200. So that's going to give us 4,525. And then the last one in your calculator, you're going to put in 825 for June, your fixed, plus your regular of 1,850, plus your discretionary of 1,070. And then you can add those three across, so 3,105 plus 4,525 plus 3,745. And that gives us 11,375 for their total. Now you can check going down as well. So in your calculator, if you put 3,035 plus 5,570 plus 2,770 will give you the same 11,375. And that's how you do your planned expenditure. So you're taking your information from the question and you're putting it in to each one of these boxes in your budget for whichever month it is. So you got your months going down for your columns, and then it identifies on the side what is the expenditure. So you have fixed, irregular, and discretionary. So once you get your total for your mortgage or your household insurance or your car insurance, whatever the expense is, you're going to add up your total for each one of that section. So for your mortgage, it was just these two. For your fixed, it was just these three: mortgage, household insurance, car insurance. For your regular, then it was just this section. Okay, so anything below your subtotal. So you have your subtotal for your fixed, then you add them up to get your subtotal for your regular, and then you add them up to get your subtotal for your discretionary. And then each of these subtotals for each month are added up to get your total expenditure. And that's how you do your total expenditure budget or your expenditure budget.